I was on the Elkins accounting hour yesterday. Elkins accounting hour. And what's going on? And I'm in the middle of cleaning out an engine bay of an older car that I bought. Not a fan. I wish it was a Chevelle 70. That'd be nice. Not that. So it's a dirty old car. I want to clean out the engine bay. My goal is to have it showroom quality. And it's just the bone to chew on. Like, okay, I'm like over a 2-year process. And what you don't know about cleaning out engine bays, because I'm assuming most of you haven't, although recommendations and advice down below, specifically, how do I get rubber and hoses and plastic to shine? Or is it when I go to these car shows, they've pre-sprayed it, right? It's like a woman putting on makeup and it only looks really shiny because they did it that morning before they drove to the auto show. And then normally that veneer just dries off and dissipates. I'd like to know. Anyway, the traditional way, or the way they say on the internet, is spray everything in the engine bay down with degreaser. First, though, cover up important electronics with plastic bags and then just hose the fucker off. I'm like, that seems a little not going to bode well in the future. So I took a much more precise and intelligent approach. I covered up the alternator, exposed wires, things like that with plastic or painter's tape. And I would, one spot at a time, hit it with the degreaser, wait 15 minutes, and then I was going to hit it with a spray bottle. That's not that. There's a story as to why that's purple. It's Fabuloso, which is the best cleaner for floors, not cars. I grabbed this spray bottle. And I said, babe, we got a spray bottle. She's like, yeah. And I'm going to take the spray bottle, fill it with water. I'm just going to rinse off that one spot that I hit with the degreaser, and then I'll brush it off and that kind of thing. So that way I can look below, make sure nothing. I'll do it one little thing, a little bit of water. I'm not going to hose down my engine. Going to be tedious, going to take some time. So I filled this bottle up with water. I hit it with the degreaser, wait the 15 minutes. Time, scrub it in a little bit, and it's time to hit it with the water. Now rinse it off. Is it a nozzle? No, nothing's coming out. And then it reminded me of this spray can. Cap, what do you mean spray can? Well, it's kind of the same idea, right? You need pressure to suck a liquid out and spray it on something, perhaps at an opportune moment in time, like when the degreaser is working. And this has been the bane of my existence, because between coming to Southern Command and Northern Command, you need, just so you know, when you're a homeowner, you'll need lots of primer, caulk, some paint, in case you got to touch things up, right? And I had a little painting project down at the Southern Command. I have some leftover primer, shaking a bottle up. What the hell? They are getting so cheap now. You corpos, I swear, I don't care about Luigi. I don't. I really don't. Oh, that's too bad you corpos are running into problems. Oh, gee, that's just too bad. They are so cheap. Never happened before in my life. They are so cheap that they don't even spend. What does it cost you? Half a penny to get the normal plastic that when I hit the spray bottle 6 months later, the primer or the paint comes out. Because you're never going to use a full can of paint or primer, but it's good to have on hand just to touch some things up. And nothing. And you could feel it. It's like 7/8 full. So now let me show you the cascading effects and why I don't. Oh, geez, Luigi, that's too bad. See, you can't just take the paint or the primer and throw it in the garbage. Though I think I'm going to start doing it. If you corpos are going to do this where I can't empty out a full thing, I think I'm just going to start tossing it in the landfill and everyone can go fuck themselves. Not there yet, but now I got to drive down to the chemical paint. You go down to the dump, essentially. You can't throw this in the garbage. You got to go where you take your batteries and everything. You go there and you get rid of your chemical liquids. Oh, there's a line. There's a line in Vegas. I'm sure there's a line here too. But the problem is I have to now take my time to go down to the dump, right? To dispose of this properly. Then I got to go to the store again, Lowe's this time. Well, no, this is Menards. In the Southern Command, it's Lowe's. It doesn't matter. It's the producer. It's Rust-Oleum. And by the way, not slamming on Rust-Oleum, it's all you fuckers. Because you corpos, what is the possible savings on you chinsing out on the spray nozzle? What is it per can? It can't be more than 3 cents per plastic widget in the spray nozzle that you saved. And in doing so, I'm not a big guy on negative externalities. You guys remember your economics course? They never taught you economics. They taught you about negative externalities because environmentalism and capitalism bad. And so they had to point out that every action had an unintended consequence or cost, namely pollution. And that's why you need to shut down the economy and have Bernie Sanders in charge. There was your economics lesson in all of your high school and college mandated economics courses. That doesn't mean there's no such thing as negative externalities. But you want to talk about real negative externalities? It's you motherfucking corpos chinsing out to the point you are no longer feasible. Your products don't work at all. And now, if I want to do any kind of product, think about this. Think about we're talking a magnitude of well over $100, maybe even well over a magnitude of 100 times the cost. Right? So, no, more than that. 3 cents times 100, that's $3. This is way more. We're talking 10,000, $30 plus my labor. No, we are talking 10,000 times. In you saving your fucking nickel, you've cost the economy 10,000 times that miles because now I got to spend the money on the gas to go get there, creating pollution, by the way. Then I got to go throw this away. Now, I don't know. I'm sure we're talking now that I factor in how they dispose of this. What I'm sure there's costs over there. Those of you who run these proper disposal facilities, I'm sure there's a cost with that. Are we approaching 50,000 times the cost because you corpos, you chinsed out on a fucking piece of plastic? It would have costed you a dime. You want to get that extra nickel. This shit I'm talking about right here should be taught in business schools, but you guys are too busy with, oh my God, black vagina. That's the best thing ever. Oh, it's DEI. We're talking about that shit and diversity instead of good business ethics, which for common sense sake. So I got to spend how much in gas to go down there? I got to stand in line. I got to waste my time. We're talking at least $300 of my time. Then I got to go back and I got to buy this fucking shit again. Now this is the paint. This, thank God, it's just plastic. I guess I just throw it away. But when you could think about how petty this is, and then when you think about how petty it is, think about how many trillions of little plastic washers or spray nozzles or pieces of paper. How many tens of trillions? I don't know. Are we at a quadrillion yet? How many small little things are in our 320 million person economy? And you corpos chintz out to save a fucking nickel. It's not even a nickel. And you burden everybody with having to replace and repair things all the time constantly. And no one's going out making money so they might be able to buy a higher quality product from you for the rest of their lives, thereby creating long-term profits for you, not to mention increasing all of our standards of living. No, we got to go and replace fucking water bottles. And when I was talking about this on Chad Elkins' show, Ray was in the Ray, Thoughts and Minds. Raymond Thoughts and Minds, go look him up because he works construction. He says, dude, you aren't joking about those water bottles. I'm not. You guys, oh, zany economist Cappy. Look at him, an eccentric professor talking about plastic nozzles and how it's going to destroy the economy. I'm not. I'm not. This limitless number of small things you're all chinsing out on. How much, where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? Out. Washers and dryers, right? You want your boop, boop, beep, beep machines. How can we just make the dryers like they were made in the 70s and the 80s and last forever? Can we just do that? Can one of you corporals figure that out? Say, hey, we could put everyone else out of business and make it. Yeah, it's going to cost a little bit more. We're going to have to use some robust thing, but we're not doing the electronic boop, boop, beep, beep. It's just analog and dials. There is such a huge market for any corporation out there to basically come in there and not fuck over their clients. Not to mention society and to some extent the environment. I'm not a big environmentalist. I'm not, but I know this isn't good. Having to throw away 7/8 of a bottle of spray paint. Rust-Oleum, do you wanna lead the charge on this? Oh, you're private equity owners. Oh, we might save a quarter. Ooh. Doesn't matter that it costs society $250. We saved a quarter. No joke. That's what it is. They saved a quarter. Society's paying $250. I'm not a bit. Look, I'd love to have a 0% corporate tax rate. But god damn, you corporations are such horrible fucking neighbors. Such horrible citizens, corporate citizens in this country. Oh man, I think really my opinion on it's like tariffs, although I still think tariffs are bad. Tariffs are not good generally for the economy, right? But I understand there might be some political motivations to kick some people's and other countries' asses into being a little bit more agreeable and fair. And generally, corporate taxes are not good. You want employers to come into your country. You want to make it easy for them to employ. But you guys have been acting like such despicable pieces of shit. I'm pretty much thoroughly convinced we should tax corporations. Take your money and pay off the student loan debt with them. I think we should. If you're going to act like this fucking belligerent, damaging, irresponsible entity, neighbor within the American community, get fucked. Just get fucked. I like solutions. Let me tell you my solutions. I did this at the Lowe's down in the Southern Command, though it could be anyone else. Going forward, you need to make these people, you need to make it sting. You really need to make it sting. And what I did is I had a whooshy pressurized spray paint because in the Southern Command, you need to spray for scorpions and you need to spray for little insects that the scorpions feed off. Everything's in. If you're wondering what the point and purpose of Las Vegas is, it is to defeat the scorpions, the eternal and epic, never ending battle against the scorpions. So you got to spray for the little. There's a lot of sprays. You spray to kill the weeds so the little insects don't go. And if you kill the weeds, the little insects aren't there, then the scorpions don't show up. So there's weed spray, then there's insect spray, and then if scorpions show up, though they haven't come near my fucking plate. Well, I don't own it. They don't have come near the Southern Command in years. I did a good job, actually. I really did. A lot of spray, and instead of just or now they get fancy. They have, well, this has a battery. You just hold the button down. No, and the battery dies and your spray don't work. I'm like, I know. I'll get the pressurized spray, the whooshy one. Guess what? The nozzle clogged up, broke off, or didn't break off, but it broke. I'm like, whooshy. Hit the thing. What's going on? No, nothing's come out. So what I do now, especially when it comes to tools, especially when you're dealing with home improvement stores, I save the box. I save the receipt. I tape clear plastic tape over the receipt because you don't want it fading out. I put it in a shadowy area, right? So it doesn't bleach out in the sun. and I'm saving everything. So that not if, but when this spray bottle doesn't work, I go back, I need to be refunded for this. Spray doesn't work. I need to be refunded for this. And if we were to all do that, like seriously, there's just lines outside of Target, Lowe's, Walmart. You're selling, and we're like, no, we are returning worthless shit. I even had stickers. I had to return a sticker on the internet because I ordered the 9x6" one and I got the 5x3" one. No, fuck you. Fuck you. You're going to inconvenience my day? I'm going to inconvenience yours. And then when there's lines going outside of Lowe's or Home and Depot or Menards, and then like, oh my God, why there's so many returns? What's going on? I don't know. Maybe you stop selling shit that don't work. And I don't know how else to fight it. It's getting to the point, though. I mean, it really could be to the point where government intervention might be called for. Yeah, you know what? It would really help if Congress had to do like their own projects, their own home projects. Like, well, this thing doesn't work. And it's like, hey, you know what? We did a survey and we found out this is like a 60% failure rate of all the products you're selling. Guess corporate taxes are going up 25%. Instead of talking about DEI and ESG and worshiping the great lesbian wheelchair-bound black vagina, maybe you get to, I don't know, product quality. But I think about, and I'm not joking about being destructive. When a billion of these things don't work, when you need, the engine bay will still be there. But I'm thinking airline, a plane needs to be fixed and they got the wrong solvent or the tool don't work. At minimum, you're delaying hundreds of people with their flight, saying a cascade of millions of dollars of cost. What if you just chinched on the chemical, right, corpos? You wouldn't do that. We need this solvent to clean this very important thing on an airplane. And then you use the El Cheapo solvent and it didn't do the thing. And then the plane crashes. That's what we're talking about here. Yes, your large capital assets like planes, machineries, factories, tools, those all have to work. You know what also has to work? The trillions of these little things. And they're just as, I know plastic washers are boring. I know bolts, nuts, man, you guys know this. I have a box of screws, different gauges and pitches and all that. For a while there, I was like, oh, here's the screw that came in the box from China, and it just strips. Fuck you, China. Oh man, if I was, President Trump, I'm like, yeah, remember all that shit you sold us and it didn't work? Yeah, fuck you. These bond numbers, these QSIP numbers of the federal bonds that U.S. federal treasuries you own, yeah, we're not paying those. We're even now. Bye. Oh my God, Cappy just got rid of the national debt by like $6 trillion. Yeah. Oh, and we're not buying your shit. No, there's a perfect case for a tariff. Yeah, you're making shit. Fuck you. Although I don't think we'd make it all that much better here in the United States. But if your products don't work, the economy fails. I understand you need more money. I understand planned obsolescence, engineered obsolescence, but holy shit, things have to work more than 6 months. Go back to whatever you were doing in the 80s. Man, if I had billions of dollars, maybe that's what I got to do. I don't want a real job. I really don't. But goddamn, man, if I would go and raise several $1 billion, I'm like, we're going to start with just making 1970s and 80s washers and dryers again. Nope. There's no boop, boop, beep, beep. There's no app. There's no download. Amount of water, short, medium, long cycle. That's it. There you go. Here's your lifetime fucking washer. I hope I never see you again. That'd be my goal. We hope to never see you again. We like you, but we never want to see you again. Buy it once and you're done. Maybe that's what I gotta do. We'll start with washers and dryers, then I'll go into video games and movies, and I'll just say, "Well, shit, we'll just make video games that are fun and got girls with big tits and dudes that are dudes." And then we're gonna have some weapon. There's no download content. There's none of that. We're just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna make spray bottles. I'm gonna make how'd he make his billions? He got into the spray bottle industry. And then I'm gonna move on to paint and put Rust-Oleum out of business. Like he spent the extra 3 cents on the spray nozzle. So you could use the whole thing of paint. He became a great environmentalist accidentally. I can see. I'm not saying we should, but we're really close to being like, oh, another Luigi, huh? Well, that'd just be too bad. Oh no. The guy who was fucking over the country kind of bought it early because there was another Luigi. Gee, that's just too bad. I guarantee you we're gonna have contractors, tradesmen, people who work, like even cleaners, right? I'm sure some of you lady like, oh yeah, we got these dude. You know what? I bet you, shit. Wish this was in Spanish. Bet you the Latinas, the cleaning ladies, the consuelas. I bet you they know. No, they do. I guarantee you they know. You got to get this bottle. That's the bottle that works. That's the one that doesn't clog up. Albino, 10 generous stars. Dude, bro. Cut cost, bro. Thinner plastic, bro. Ford Pinto. Save $11, bro. Vic, $10. Hey, Cappy, optimizing for maximum gains and savings, but I'm born in the second world shithole that is Italy. What's your advice for smart people who live in welfare crapples like Italy, Greece, and Brazil, etc.? So I drove through Italy. To me, I think Vic, you're doing the accounting thing. I'd go find some small little town and just chill out there. I went to the town of Portofino, I guess. I was on the west side. And the reason I went there is because of the movies Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I thought it was a real place, and it is, but they didn't film it there. But there is a town called Portofino. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to Portofino, but and I'm imagining it's expensive. Find some small little place that has good internet and just chill out there, man. That's what I'd do. Como, I kind of liked it because it was bigger and more of a downtown. And I know Lake Como is probably super expensive to live in, but I didn't like Venice, or is it called Firenze? Uh, the mainland was shit. So I'd be avoiding the big. There's the same thing as here in the United States. Find some small little town. Maybe near a train. Depending on what kind of weather you like. If you like skiing in winter, you're obviously further north. If you like warmer beaches, further south. And then just find some small little town, chill out. That's what I'd do. And then I'd look into getting some kind of second citizenship once you get established. I mean, the fact you're going to go into accounting and ideally be remotely employed. Here's another thing about, I'm sorry, I should have thought about this. Just because you're citizens of Italy doesn't mean you have to spend your time there, right? Think about this. Like, what if I were to, like Matt Forney? Matt Forney is an American citizen. He never touched the United States for years. He was in Albania and then Georgia and then Mexico. I don't think he came back to the United States. He's the past 5 years he hasn't been in the United States. So your citizenship almost doesn't matter. It's like, where do you spend your time? Right? If I could be a South Dakota citizen, but I spend all my time in Montana, well, then I don't suffer whatever drawbacks there might be in South Dakota. And so, yes, you may have issues with citizenship, but I would just, especially in Europe, can't you just hop a train and be in a different country in like 20 minutes? I know Italy's a little bit bigger. I'm talking more like the little country, like Belgium and Denmark. So yeah, just because you're there doesn't mean you have to be there. And again, you being an accountant, that lends itself very well to remote employment. So that's what I would do. Albino, $5. Dude, bro, pay people so little they don't care about the quality of their work. Bro. Chinese slave labor, bro. Iron Horse reviews. I have an 89 S10. Oh, Chevy S10, huh? Don't drive it daily anymore, but it runs great in an original motor. Haven't gotten a new truck because nothing new will last 36 years. I got an old truck too. and the transmission's going and everything's going, but I am not buying. I'm not buying anything post 2018. And even if it's a 2015, I'm like, okay, is there electronic screen? I want electronic screen. I want nothing. I want a fucking car, not a computer with wheels. Drew, $5. I have found that the more elite the college, the worse the customer service. Community colleges are much better at customer service than elite. Absolutely. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino agent in the field, $5. Guilds used to exist to protect the quality of the work. Unfortunately, they also acted as a monopoly, so they also stifled improvements, pros and cons. I have really no plans to join a union or a trade group. I just want see that what pisses me off, Alex, is okay. I know it doesn't look, but this is a tool. I need my tools to work because I want to. I had this idea like, oh, it'd be nice to just wrench in the garage, right? I'll take a couple days off from the gym. I'll fix this car up, get it nice and pretty and running nice. And I know, oh yeah, there's gonna be some problems because oh, this wire is off. Let's replace it. So I knew that was gonna come, but then here I am just with this thing. It's like fuck the hell, man. What? Like it's like I agreed to have the CEO of Spray Bay, whoever's. It's like I agreed to have the president and CEO of Rust-Oleum come in here and just stick his dick in my asshole. On a random, what is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, this happened, right? It's just like, what? And there he is. Ha ha! He's got his strap on. It's like, how do you reach out and touch me? Like, and I should. That's why I'm going to save every receipt. Like, hey, yeah, this stop your spray paint. You're like, no. And you know what? By the way, you're getting rid of it. You dispose of it. I'm not taking it to the nope. Here's another thing you could kind of do, right? Let's say I should have done it. I should have done it that way. The spray paint don't work. I just go, how they got the general garbage in front. They got garbage bins over at Lowe's. Just drop it in there. It's your problem now, buddy. The Plains Warrior, $5. Remember the old commercials of the Maytag repair guy? So yeah, I remember it. Same time, do you remember the guy Dunkin' Donuts? Time to make the donuts. He'd wake up very early in the morning, sleeping in his desk because there was no work. Right. I mean, you could bring it back. Tim Bar, $2.99 Australian. 2 a.m. in Australia. Just finished working on my bike. Good. I hope it runs. All right, there it is. That's it. I just wanted to share that with you. Now I'm going to go put in another coat of paint on the air filter cover, and it should start to look pretty now. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.